Have you ever wondered why we are drawn to the things that frighten us the most? It's a paradox, isn't it? Fear, that primal instinct meant to keep us safe, yet we find ourselves thrilled by it. We seek out the shivers, the goosebumps, the adrenaline rush that comes with being scared. And where do we find this thrill? In horror movies, of course. These films meant to terrify and disturb hold a fascinating allure. We willingly immerse ourselves in the dark, into the unknown, and let our minds be manipulated by the masters of horror. These cinematic puppeteers know just how to pull our psychological strings, to make our hearts race and our palms sweat. They exploit our deepest fears and insecurities, all in the name of entertainment. So why this fascination with fear? What draws us to the macabre and the monstrous? These are the questions that we will explore today. So buckle up as we delve into the psychological labyrinth of fear in horror movies. Scene script. Fear, an emotion so powerful it can freeze you in your tracks. But what really is fear? Well, let's dive into the science behind this spine-chilling sensation. Fear is a complex interplay of biology and psychology, a primal response to perceived danger. It's like a personal alarm system, designed to protect us from threats. When you encounter something terrifying, your brain goes into high gear. It's the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure in your brain that rings the alarm bell. It processes the information and decides whether the situation is dangerous. If the answer is yes, it triggers a series of reactions in your body to prepare for what's known as the fight or flight response. Imagine you're walking in a dark alley and you hear a strange noise. Your amygdala gets the signal, and faster than you can say boo, it triggers your hypothalamus to start a chemical cascade. Your adrenal glands pump adrenaline into your bloodstream. Your heart races, your breathing quickens, your senses sharpen. You're primed to either confront the danger or run for your life. But fear isn't just a physical response, it's also deeply psychological. Your past experiences, memories, and even your thoughts can influence how you perceive and react to fear. For instance, if you've had a traumatic experience with dogs, just the sound of barking could send your heart racing. Fear can also be learned. Yes, you heard it right. We can learn to fear certain things through experiences or observations. Remember when you first watched a horror movie? The first time you saw that creepy clown or the blood-curdling ghost, your brain associated it with fear. And now, every time you see something similar, your brain triggers that same fearful response. Fear can be overwhelming, paralyzing even. But it's also essential. It's our body's way of saying, hey, something's not right here, you might want to do something about it. So fear, as terrifying as it is simply our body's survival mechanism. Ever jumped at a sudden sound in a horror movie? Ever felt your heart race during a suspenseful scene? That's the art of fear manipulation. When you're watching a horror movie, you're not just a passive viewer. You're an active participant in a carefully constructed experience designed to induce fear. Filmmakers use a range of techniques to engage you, to keep you on the edge of your seat, and most importantly, to make you scared. One of the most common techniques is suspense. This isn't just about what's happening on the screen, but about what could happen. The anticipation of danger, the dread of the unknown, the tension of waiting for the inevitable. It's like a ticking time bomb, and the longer it ticks, the more fear it generates. Another technique is surprise. This is the opposite of suspense. Instead of drawing out the tension, filmmakers hit you with a sudden, unexpected scare. It's the classic jump scare, a sudden burst of fear that sends your heart racing. But perhaps the most disturbing technique is the use of the uncanny. This is about making the familiar strange, about twisting the ordinary into something unsettling. It's the creepy doll that comes to life. The friendly neighbor who turns out to be a monster, the safe home that becomes a haunted house. The uncanny plays with our sense of reality, making us question what we know and fear what we don't. These techniques aren't just about scaring you though. They're about engaging you, about making you feel something. They're about drawing you into the story, making you care about the characters, making you want to know what happens next. In the hands of a skilled filmmaker, these techniques can create a powerful emotional experience. They can make you feel fear, yes, but also excitement, curiosity, and even empathy. They can make you think, make you question, make you see the world in a new way. Through these techniques, filmmakers can make even the bravest of us squirm in our seats. Numerous theories attempt to explain why we find horror movies so compelling. Let's dive into some of them. First up, we have the catharsis theory, with roots in the works of the great philosopher Aristotle. He proposed that watching tragedy and fear-inducing stories can lead to a purging or catharsis of these emotions, Applying this to horror films, the theory suggests that they provide a safe space for us to explore and purge our own fears and anxieties. We scream, we jump, we cover our eyes, but all from the safety of our living room or movie theater. Then there's the excitation transfer theory, developed by psychologist Dolph Zillman. This theory is all about the physiological responses we experience during and after watching a horror film, the adrenaline rush, the pounding heart, the quickened breath. These are all responses to fear. But when the movie ends and the threat is gone, that residual physiological arousal doesn't just disappear. Instead, it intensifies the emotions we feel once the fear is gone. This could explain why, after the credits roll, we often feel a sense of exhilaration or relief, a high that keeps us coming back for more. Let's not forget the curiosity-fear paradox. This theory delves into our contradictory desire to both avoid and seek out fear. On one hand, fear is an unpleasant emotion that we naturally try to avoid. On the other hand, our curiosity drives us to seek out new experiences, even if they're potentially frightening. This paradox plays out in the world of horror movies, where we willingly subject ourselves to fear for the thrill of the unknown. And lastly, there's the theory of sensation seeking. Proposed by Marvin Zuckerman, it suggests that some individuals have a higher need for novel and intense experiences, and are willing to take risks to achieve these experiences. These individuals, termed sensation seekers, may be more drawn to horror films due to their ability to provide intense, novel experiences and the thrill that comes with them. Each of these theories offers a different lens through which to view our fascination with fear and horror. The catharsis theory focuses on the emotional release and exploration of fear, the excitation transfer theory on the physiological thrill, the curiosity-fear paradox on our contradictory desires, and the sensation-seeking theory on individual differences in thrill-seeking behavior. In the end, it's likely that our attraction to horror movies is a complex interplay of all these factors, varying from person to person and even from one movie to another. These theories provide a glimpse into the complex relationship between fear and fascination. Now, let's take a look at how these theories play out in real life. Picture this. You're sitting in a darkened room, the flickering light of the screen the only source of illumination. The eerie score of a horror movie sends chills down your spine, your heart rate quickens, your palms sweat. You're in the grip of fear, yet it's a fear you willingly signed up for. But what is it about these movies that draws us in and plays on our fears so effectively? Let's dive into some iconic examples. Take the classic Hitchcock thriller, Psycho. Hitchcock, the master of suspense, employed the art of fear manipulation to perfection. The infamous shower scene, with its high-pitched violin screech, had audiences jumping out of their seats. Hitchcock didn't rely on gore or monsters, but rather on the power of suggestion and the fear of the unknown. He understood that what we don't see, what we imagine, is often far more terrifying than what is shown. Or consider the supernatural horror, The Exorcist. This film tapped into our primal fears of the unknown, of evil, of loss of control. It played on the fear of the supernatural, the fear of possession, religious fears. It was so effective in its fear manipulation that it caused fainting, vomiting, even reported heart attacks in theaters. And then there's Jaws. Spielberg's masterpiece didn't just keep people out of the water, it brought our primal fear of being eaten alive right into our living rooms. The genius of Jaws was its use of anticipation and suspense. The shark isn't even fully shown until well into the movie, but its presence is always felt. The iconic two-note theme music became a symbol of impending doom, triggering fear and anxiety with its mere suggestion. These films and countless others have left indelible marks on our collective psyche. They've shaped our fears, our nightmares, and our understanding of what it means to be truly terrified. And they've done it not through cheap scares or gratuitous violence, but through a deep understanding of our fears and how to manipulate them. Horror movies have the power to make us feel vulnerable, to make us question our safety, our sanity, even our very reality. They play on our deepest, darkest fears, and they do it so well that we keep coming back for more. But it's not just about being scared. These movies also allow us to confront and explore our fears in a safe environment. They give us a sense of thrill, of adrenaline, of being alive. They tap into our fascination with the dark, the unknown, the forbidden, and in doing so, they remind us of our humanity, our fragility, our primal instincts. So, next time you're huddled on the couch, heart pounding as the tension builds on screen, remember this: you're not just watching a movie. You're participating in a grand tradition of fear manipulation, a tradition that goes back centuries and spans cultures. You're part of a shared human experience, an exploration of our deepest, darkest fears. These examples showcase the power and influence of well-crafted horror. Despite the chills and thrills, horror movies continue to captivate audiences worldwide. But why? Well, let's delve into the mysterious appeal of horror. On the surface, it seems somewhat paradoxical, doesn't it? We spend most of our lives avoiding fear, yet we willingly subject ourselves to it in the name of entertainment. This, my friends, is what we call the thrill of experiencing fear in a safe environment. It's the adrenaline rush, the heart-pounding sensation that comes with being scared without the actual threat of danger. Imagine you're on a roller coaster. The fear is palpable, your palms are sweaty, and your heart beats like a drum in your chest. But you know you're ultimately safe. It's the same with horror movies. We're drawn to the excitement, the anticipation, and the momentary loss of control. Then, there's the allure of the unknown. Horror movies often take us into uncharted territories, into the depths of human psyche, into realms of supernatural, or into the abyss of the macabre. They push the boundaries of our understanding, and we, as curious beings, are drawn to it. We love solving puzzles, unveiling secrets, and horror movies often offer us just that, a mystery wrapped in a blanket of fear. And let's not forget the satisfaction of surviving a horror movie. There's a certain pride in making it to the end credits, isn't there? You've braved the jump scares, the chilling suspense, the blood-curdling screams, and you've come out the other side. It's a testament to your resilience, your ability to confront fear head-on. In the end, horror movies play on our deepest fears, yet remain irresistibly alluring. They offer us a chance to confront our fears, to explore the unknown, and to experience the thrill of fear without real danger. And maybe, just maybe, they remind us of our innate strength and our ability to survive. So next time you're watching a horror movie, remember it's not just about the scares, it's about the journey, the thrill, the mystery, and most importantly, the survival. In the end, horror movies play on our deepest fears, yet remain irresistibly alluring. So, next time you watch a horror movie, remember the intricate psychological play at work. Today we've peeled back the curtain on the Enigma of Fear, revealing its role not as a malicious force, but as a survival mechanism that's been with us since the dawn of humanity. It's this primal instinct that horror movies tap into, manipulating our senses and emotions to keep us on the edge of our seats. We've dived into the science behind fear, uncovering how our brains and bodies react to perceived threats. We've seen how our heart rate quickens, our palms sweat, and our muscles tense, all in preparation for an attack that, in the confines of a movie theater, will never come. We've explored the art of fear manipulation in horror movies, the subtle techniques filmmakers use to amplify our fear response, the chilling soundtracks, the sudden jump scares, the strategic use of lighting and shadows, all artfully designed to keep our adrenaline pumping. We've discussed the theories of fear and horror, from Sigmund Freud's concept of the uncanny to Noel Carroll's theory of art horror. These theories offer us a lens through which we can understand why we find certain things terrifying and why horror as a genre holds such a powerful sway over us. And finally, we've considered the appeal of horror, the paradoxical pleasure we derive from being scared. In the safe environment of a cinema or our living room, horror movies allow us to experience fear in a controlled way, to confront our darkest fears and emerge victorious. Now that we have unraveled the mystery of fear in horror movies, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing insights. Until next time, don't let the fear consume you.